You think one's life belongs to oneself, but that's the difference between the East and the West. In the East, a person's life is part of a whole family. Hello, lovely listeners. I am Austin Johnson, joined by, of course, Connor.
How's it going?
Yeah, he's the captain of Filmgazm here, where we have bonus episode number 3 here. Special film here, A24, one of our favorite companies. They distribute really cool films here. We're talking about The Farewell.
Yeah.
Written and directed by Lulu Wang. Very talented director. I think she's on the rise. What are your initial thoughts after we saw this film?
I knew nothing about this going in. I saw one trailer
Good feeling.
months ago.
Yeah.
I went solely on your recommendation.
Yeah.
And I was very surprised.
Well, I went solely on other people's recommendation, other podcasts or things I've written, read. My gosh, I was blown away with how funny and how raw this movie was.
It was real.
So real, ridiculous.
Yeah.
The most heartfelt movie I've seen of the year, for sure.
Anybody who's close with their grandmother can feel something from this.
I agree. I think it's relatable, for that family type of... has that atmosphere, that vibe, that environment. Very cool, and it can break any kind of barrier of culture.
It's amazing.
Which is really cool.
That was, I think, my biggest surprise is how it bridged the culture divide.
I guess that's where that's where you bring up this. A lot of the movie is in subtitles.
Yeah.
It's a lot of Chinese.
90% in Chinese.
Yeah, so we have a lot of American Chinese actors in it. Really cool. Very different, obviously. That's not something that's popular. Something that's really cool that Lulu Wang... a lot of producers were pressuring her to have maybe a white male in it, someone that's relatable for the American audience, and she said, no, I'm not doing that. This needs to be true. This needs to be about a Chinese family.
Funny thing is, the Chinese producers pressured her with the same thing.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Just because they want to make a few extra bucks.
Yeah. They don't. The Americans think it's not marketable enough to the Americans. The Chinese don't think it's marketable enough to the Chinese. Yeah. She couldn't win with this movie.
Really frustrating, but the end product is so beautiful and so raw because of that, probably.
Yeah.
She stayed true to that. It's a very honest film. It's very personal to her. This is something that she went through with her family. So let's dive into the story. There's obviously a spoiler alert.
Yes.
Go see this film if you can. It came out in July, so it doesn't have a lot of life left in the theater. But if you can make it, we saw it at the Bijou here in San Antonio. They're still showing it, so if you get out and see it, it's worth it. It's going to be talked about in February at the Oscars. I guarantee that.
And we're going to try to do bonus episodes on all the major potential Oscar contenders for next year's awards.
And this is probably our second Oscar contender of the year, behind Tarantino's Once Upon a Time. And of course, we are going to do a bonus on that no matter what.
Yeah.
But since The Farewell was so damn good, Connor and I, of course, wanted to get together and make sure we talk about this film and spread the news.
Yeah.
Because not enough people have seen it,
Absolutely.
in my opinion. So let's dive into the story. So I guess Awkwafina, she's a comedian.
Yeah.
Who acts as she portrays Billy, our main character. Unbelievable performance.
I could not.
She's probably going to be up for a fucking Oscar for this.
Probably, yeah.
Unbelievable stuff from her. I didn't know she had it. You could read in Connor's review of the movie. Yeah, we were both, what? I had no idea she had that in her at all.
Yeah, very surprised. Especially, her background, she's like a YouTube rapper comedian who got a big break with Ocean's 8. And then from there, she's just skyrocketed.
Yeah, she was in
Crazy Rich Asians, and now The Farewell, and her stock is rising dramatically.
Oh, yeah, and with something like this, you can prove, oh my gosh, she spoke 2 different languages in this.
Yeah. She's
doing comedy. At points, she's tearing up. She's kind of using slang from both languages. It was amazing what she was capable of doing. And I think the end of the film, when she's really showing her range with the emotion, and this film is really special, and it's going to be, I think, her starting point to her stardom.
Absolutely.
So, especially for people like us, because I really didn't know much about her YouTube stardom.
Neither did I.
So I was very, very surprised to see her on the screen. Like, wow, she's got chops, man. So really cool. So Billy is the character she plays. She's living in New York City. She's like 30, I think, somewhere in there. She's living a normal life. Very Americanized.
Very independent. She's trying to not rely on her parents for money, but she's trying to get this fellowship.
Yeah.
And doesn't work out.
Yeah.
But she keeps it to herself.
Yes.
Because she doesn't want the judgment from her very Chinese, very traditional family.
Yeah. They uphold a high standard, you know, if you need to accomplish something, while you're here. And she's, like I said, she's 30, so the clock is ticking in their eyes.
Yeah.
Which is really sad because, I think a lot of young American people can relate to that, where you get kind of lost in your 20s and 30s, and time kind of passes by, but you keep chasing your dreams, And I think this character, Billy, like Connor's saying, she kind of wanted to hide this from her family. And so right away, we realize, okay, there's multiple cultures at play here.
Yeah.
And then, there's some scenes with her parents, and I think those scenes are great. T-Ma plays the father. He is brilliant.
I love T-Ma.
Hilarious.
Whenever he pops up, I'm always, just entranced. He's so good.
I loved his character. Loved the dry humor. Brilliant. So there's a scene between the mom and Billy, and they're kind of like, okay, something's going on.
Yeah.
And what is going on? You guys are kind of acting funny here.
And before that, the whole day, Billy's been on the phone with her grandma.
Yeah.
Nai.
We know this is a good relationship.
Yeah. Nai's at the doctor, but she's, not concerned about anything. She gets a clean bill of health from her doctor that she knows of. And that's when we get to the conversation.
Correct. You get the conversation with the parents and Billy. The dad is off. He's off on the bed, I think. He's off on the side of the bed sitting. You just really beautiful, really dark, beautiful shot though of him sitting on the bed.
Oh, the cinematography in this is amazing.
Yeah, of course we're going to bring that up at some point.
Yeah.
It is genius stuff. It also will be talked about in February. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of things here that are just very, very special, very precise filmmaking. So yeah, that scene when she's finding out this news about her grandma from her parents, but she doesn't quite know what's going on. Immediately, you don't even need to know what's happening. You immediately feel shit. You're in Billy's shoes. Oh man, this is not good. Whatever she's about to hear, whatever how she's going to hear it, however she's going to take it, it's just not going to be fun. And it is not. It is not a fun scene to go through as a person who's like, oh wow, because so many people deal with this. Hey, this person has cancer.
Yeah.
That's a thing, the chances of someone getting that is crazy.
In that scene, the part that I think hurts the most is that everyone's going to fly down there, but her parents don't want Billy there.
Yes, that's what we're getting to, is oh my gosh.
Because they don't think that she can mask her emotions.
Yes, because she's asking, wait, how can I find out? What do you mean? Yeah. And he says, we're going to hide it from you. We're leaving first thing in the morning.
They're not going to tell Grandma.
What? Yeah. What are you Are you kidding
Grandma's
me?
the only one who doesn't know about this.
Oh, man.
And apparently, I don't know, have you looked into it? Is that a real tradition in China?
I'm not sure.
Or is that just a family thing? Because this is based on a true story.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, that's a giant country, so I don't know if it's a nationwide,
True.
But maybe in certain cities, I mean, I'm sure there's some truth to that.
It could be a cultural thing for certain families.
Yeah.
But Jesus, I don't know if I could do that to a family member.
I couldn't. I personally couldn't. I almost out of selfishness of, I need to get that off my chest.
Yeah, I couldn't live with that.
No. Essentially lying to a family member about a disease that's going to kill you. It's really, really let that set in. It's fascinating how right away, yet we might react oh my God, no. But you can't really do that because of how these characters, these Chinese characters, have it ingrained in them. This is okay. This is what you do.
Not only is this okay, this is necessary.
Yes.
In order to preserve her feelings.
This is better for her. Yeah, in the long run. They believe this is huge for their culture. So immediately as a viewer, as the audience member, I was like, oh, okay, I'm open-minded. Okay.
But I kind of get where they're coming from, because they say, there's a Chinese saying, if you have cancer, you die.
Oh, that was brilliantly delivered from the mom. Yeah. Oh, wow.
It's not the cancer necessarily that kills you, it's the fear and the acceptance of death that kills you.
Just that knowledge.
So if you don't know you have it, it might not take that long to get you.
Yeah.
It might take, a while.
Oh, man. Amazing. So they really don't want her to go because of the relationship that Nai and Billy have. She simply cannot hide her emotions. She'll start crying. They think you can't do it. You can't go. Well, fuck it. She goes anyway. Yeah, of course. We wouldn't have a movie.
Independently, she spends her life savings on a ticket to China and shows up, and her parents are pissed initially.
Oh yeah. And that initial when Nai sees her, and the whole family is watching Billy and she's not saying anything, and you're like, oh man, it's awkward silence, and she's like, why do you have that look on your face? What's going on? The grandma is just confused, but she's also excited because, oh my gosh, one of my favorite family members is here.
Yeah, and her grandson's getting married.
Poor grandson. Poor grandson.
They're using a wedding to mask everybody here.
That's the cover. Yeah. The cover for Hey, we're all going to visit Grandma is we're gonna have this wedding for these people who've been dating for 4 months, 3 or 4 months.
Not even that.
And they're like, they talk about how they're going to lie. Like, all right, let's say 6 months just to make it sound better.
Why not make it a year?
Yeah,
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that sounds better. Yeah, hilarious. And so it's a cover up just so they can. Yeah. And the grandma's really into it. Nine-Eye's really into figuring out this wedding, planning it all out.
And the girl he's dating is Japanese, and she doesn't understand a word of Chinese
or a word of English.
So she's just kind of there.
Oh man, so good.
Yeah, there's a lot of honest humor in this movie that I did not expect.
No, not at all.
It's really funny.
Right up our alley, that stuff that we love, that subtle, sly stuff that's just like only true. You really have to be paying attention to really laugh and really figure out, oh, that was funny. That was placed there on purpose. Like, there's a scene where they're getting ready for the wedding. They're trying on dresses. And you can tell it's just chaotic. Wherever they are, it's not a well business, not well run business. So these people just like kind of barge into the door and they're like, oh, wrong room. And it's just little stuff like that that's happening throughout this film to kind of keep it at this tempo.
Keep it a little light.
Yeah, where you never feel you're never quite ready to process the true emotion of this. Is this right or wrong?
Yeah. Until
the movie's really over, are you like, oh man, I don't know what I would do. Put yourself in your shoes. There's so much happening other than that main storyline that it's a beautiful film because of that. So as we carry on, they're in China. Everyone's in China. This family. So let's point out the other key characters because there's not a lot of them here.
No, it's all just a family.
Yeah, we have Nine-Eye's sister. I cannot remember her name.
I can't remember.
She's hilarious.
But
she's hilarious. We have obviously the two that are getting married.
Yeah.
We have Billy's aunt and uncle, the parents of the son.
Yeah.
That's getting married.
They're interesting.
They're very interesting because they also have the son Bao. And there's this great scene where they're talking about basically America versus China.
Yeah.
And which one's better, I guess, or which one's a better place to raise your kids, which one's a better place to go to school, get a job. And it's pretty intense.
Yeah.
What'd you think of that? Like was that funny to you, or I don't know?
I was expecting the conversation to get loud, and it never did, and I was very surprised.
It stayed at like an intellectual, even-keeled, nope.
There was a waspy argument vibe there.
Jabs, little jabs,
yeah,
little jabs. No big, southpaw, no big.
Hook, your mother's a whore. Just just little stuff.
Yeah, well, the movie is PG, which is amazing. That's amazing. I don't go see movies that are PG very often.
Me neither.
In theaters and be this excited about them. Brilliant stuff that's going on in China. The cinematography again. I didn't know I'd want to go to a random city in China so bad. Like, just wow.
Is it ever specified what city this is?
It's. I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't want to say the wrong. I looked up some of the terms. I try to come prepared, but the city I don't quite know how to say it.
Okay.
But it is actually where the real grandma lives.
Okay.
In real life.
Oh,
still.
wow.
Yeah. So that's great. That's where Lulu Wong went and visited. It's like she was like, I was filming at home for me. So really special. That's really cool. Yeah. Where are we at in the plot here? Captain Khan.
They're all in China. They've Aquafina's shown up. Billy's there.
Yes,
and
the wedding's
they're planning out
getting
the wedding.
Underway. Yeah.
And let's go to the where they visit their grandfather's grave.
That's a good. Yeah, great scene.
Grandfather died of cancer too, and
yes,
his, grandma kept the secret from him.
Yes, Nine-Eye's done this before.
Yeah,
now it's happening to her.
Mm-hmm. So this is a family thing. This is important to them. And they go to visit grandfather's grave, and they bring him gifts and food and flowers and stuff. And they put a cigarette there, and somebody says grandma says no, he said he quit. It's like, he just told you he quit. And somebody says he's dead. What more can happen?
Yeah, let him have a cigarette.
That was a great scene.
It really is stuff like that. Yeah. And it is, it's unfortunate that because it's all subtitles that people are turned off to that. The general American public, the people who go see movies, they don't want to read. They're not going to read. You know what I mean? It's just how it goes.
It's unfortunate.
It is. Fortunately, Connor and I, we eat this shit up.
We have no we'll see anything.
And we both knew it was an A24 movie.
Mm-hmm.
The trailer's really good. Just as most A24 movies have a good trailer, at least. And it just kind of caught my eye, and I heard people talking about it, and I heard Oscar buzz, and I was like, okay, we should go check this out, and it is well worth it. As we get into later in the movie, so the wedding's going on, And it kind of, because there's not, there's just things happening now. There's still this, everyone has this thing that they're holding in.
Yeah.
And so things are just happening. Actions are happening. The wedding's happening.
There's a scene...
Dinner's happening,
There's a scene I love where Grandma just randomly goes to the hospital.
Yeah.
And everyone is freaking out.
To, change her medicine?
Yeah. She's just going there to change her medicine, but the entire family shows up.
Yeah.
And Grandma's like, why are you all here? I'm just changing my medicine.
That's when Awkwafina talks to... Billy talks to that doctor who also speaks English. And she's like, hey... You can tell me the truth, like what's going on.
That was so heartbreaking because Grandma's right there.
I forgot how good that scene was. Yeah, we just saw this 2 days ago, so it's still pretty fresh there.
Billy says to the doctor, "All right, look, you know about my grandma's condition."
Yeah,
and they're talking about it with Grandma right there, and she doesn't speak English, so she's just smiling at them,
looking at him going back and forth.
It's so heartbreaking.
It is. It's devastating, time and time again. But then there's something funny. Yeah. She says, you should marry him, Yeah,
she's trying to fix them up.
She breaks this, tension that's happening really around her. She's the source, but she's breaking it with her own comedy, with her own humor, which is such a, lovely tone to have, and it's such a different way of looking at pain.
Yeah.
It really is. And I didn't know so much about... I feel like I learned a lot, which is great. There are movies that entertain you, there's movies that you just love, you fall in love with because of characters, and there's movies that teach you, and this movie kind of did all those things, and that's really cool. As we get later in the film, it kind of comes to a head. It's almost like it's coming to a climax because everyone's holding this in, and there's conversation between the father and his brother, and that's what the quote I said at the beginning of this episode is from that scene when she confronts him, come on, we gotta tell her. Finally, she's like, guys, this is ridiculous. And that's when he says, there's a difference between the East and the West. In the East over here, we are all part of one. Over there, it's more of a serving life. So
I don't know how I feel about that.
Neither do I.
But then again, we have grown up in the West with the mentality of every life belongs to oneself. So...
Because the movie never says one's right or wrong.
It doesn't, yeah.
And that's what's really cool. It doesn't create an argument. It creates representation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's really cool. That's more effective to me than creating a divide.
I agree. You never hate any of the characters for what they're doing.
No. Not even... And like you said, you think someone's going to yell at some point, in an argument? No, it never goes there.
No. At the same time, they are all grieving this horrible secret and waiting, for Grandma to die.
This person right in front of them, they're having dinner. Like I said, all these things are happening. Normal, breakfast, lunch, dinner. Let's go rehearse for the wedding. Let's go have the wedding. All these things are happening with all of them holding this in, and it's just it's devastating to watch for over time. The next 10 minutes go by, you're like, okay, someone's going to say it, right? Someone's going to say it. Nope. They stick to their guns.
They really do.
Stick to their guns.
Even Billy, amazingly.
Billy sticks with it, and this movie just continues and continues and ends with, it's a lie. A beautiful lie, I guess, if that's how you want to look at it. And it is ridiculous that I didn't know about this. I'm really glad this movie was made, is what I'm trying to say. Lulu Wang, thank you, because I really learned and I really felt something when I went to this movie, and that's kind of what we go to movies for, is to be kind of moved or turned in some sort of way or fashion, and that's exactly what this movie did. Not going to give it a 10 out of 10, because that's hard to do, but I'll give it a 9.
Very nice. I'll give it an 8. Yeah. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. What was your favorite scene?
My favorite scene... I really like the wedding.
Yeah. There's just... so much great
Especially
stuff.
When her Billy's uncle gives the speech, and he just collapses into tears, and Grandma has no idea why. And he's trying to compose himself, but he's doing a terrible job of it. And it's just, you get the feeling this is eating them up so bad. They want to do this, they need to do this, but it's destroying them.
Oh, man.
But at the same time, it's this happy occasion, because it's, it's a wedding, it's celebration with family, and, Grandma is just happy. The whole movie, Grandma's happy.
She's having a great time. Grand old time. And she's expected to live 3 months, they say.
Yeah.
And she keeps going, man, for years, still alive. It's crazy. It's really a miracle. It's amazing. Can't explain
At the end of the movie, the true story comes up and says that Grandma outlived the diagnosis.
Yeah.
6 years on, she's still kicking.
And there she is dancing. That's my favorite scene. I'll bring up there's a scene between Billy and Nai Nai, and they're outside, and Nai Nai's telling her to like inhale and then exhale, get rid of all the toxins, and then they go ha ha. It's like a karate move. It's so cool. It's so innocent and like vulnerable. Like when Billy starts doing it with Nai Nai, doing the exercise with her, it's like, wow, she's just kind of taking down her walls of like, I'm this 30-year-old, like, no, like, I'm just gonna have fun with my grandma, because that's what she wants to do. She's happy. Don't know how long she's gonna be alive. I don't. She has no idea. It's really, really fascinating scene, and there's so many little scenes that are so much fun in this movie too. That the humor is at a high level.
I take it back. My favorite scene is when Billy asks her mom if she can stay with Nai Nai, and she's telling her reasoning why, and she's talking about how she never got to say goodbye to her grandfather.
That's the scene that they're going to show.
Absolutely.
At all the award shows when it's like Aquafina.
She is falling apart, and she's holding it together by a thread, and it's an incredible layered performance of just anger and love, and it's pure, and it's amazing, and I did not think she had that in her.
No. Not at all. Not at all. She does that twice. She does it 2 times where I'm like, whoa. Okay, like, yeah, the humor, that's her kind of her alley, up her alley. But when she's sitting on the floor, and then the time, when she's on the bed with her mom, and it's just her and her mom, and it's like a room with just 4 white walls, just locked in. And she's I really hope she's up for awards, because she's like a breathtaking performer. And she's beautiful too. Like she's got kind of an elegance about her that I didn't know was there. I really didn't. And so hats off to her. I think she kind of won the movie for me as far as time goes on. She's going to be looked back at that was a nice performance right there. Again, doing the two languages at once and bouncing around for different cultures and crying, laughing. All the stuff you want in a movie. All the stuff you want from a performance. So good. Really fun stuff.
It is.
A24 adds another to their list of 90 movies.
They know how to pick some goddamn scripts.
They do. Well, they do. That's all they do is they read stuff. They're like, that sounds awesome. Yeah, here you go. Here's some money.
It's amazing, and
really
it's such a varied bunch too. It's not just straight up horror movies or straight up dramas. It's anything they think is interesting.
Exactly. It's kind of like us.
Yeah.
It's kind of like how we go see movies. It's like, that looks interesting. I'm gonna go see it. Yeah, Connor and I, we went and saw this together. Yeah, I'd like to talk about our experience. Went to the Bijou. This is a theater we love to go to. It's Santikos run.
They do primarily like indie films and very like hard to find movies around here.
Yeah. San Antonio's not a hotbed for like indie movies. We have a lot of theaters here because it's a big city, but we don't have a lot of theaters that show the farewell.
Indie films, foreign films, anything that's going to be up for awards, really.
Yeah, exactly. They showed Roma. They showed Roma when it came around after the Netflix thing. And
I saw Whiplash there.
Yeah, I saw Whiplash, Birdman.
Yeah.
Lady Bird I saw there. Pretty much a lot of the A24 mid-90s we saw there.
We saw mid-90s,
Yeah, just fun stuff. Like stuff that again that you don't
Beale
see.
Street.
We saw Beale Street. Yeah.
It's been it's a very interesting theater. I love going there.
Me too. I'm excited to go there. We'll be going there a lot in the fall.
Oh,
because we live in an area where these theaters they only show Disney stuff and Marvel and
the theater where we used to work at.
Yeah.
They had 6 theaters, and they would never.
6 screens,
they would rarely ever show like even horror movies because it was primarily a family theater, so they would mostly greenlight kids movies and superhero movies and blockbusters, things that were guaranteed money.
Yeah.
So we never really
like it is as far as they go into like the.
If it's going to be a horror movie that's going to gross, then
exactly, because that's going to make almost $1 billion. So
yeah,
that's just how it goes, though. We kind of have to take pride in that. Is going to see these movies. These movies are not going to be made if we don't go see them. They need money. Money needs to. They do need to profit.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to say this movie is made around I think it was around $12 million total in the box office on a $2 million budget. That's great.
That's pretty good.
That's great. Good news for them. So, and I think Lulu Wong now has this respect where it's like, oh, okay, now go fucking do whatever you want. She's also dating Barry Jenkins. Beale Street, Moonlight,
Damn. Indie power couple right there.
Yeah, look out for those two. Jeez Louise. We were talking, like, what's a movie night like for them? what are they watching? Jeez. No, they're both, geniuses. And it's really cool that we are going to have a Chinese-American female, like, in Hollywood. Like, in the mix. And, or maybe not, maybe not even Hollywood. I don't know if she wants to be labeled that, but she's going to be making films. And I truly enjoy this one. I encourage everybody to go see it. Anything else you got to say?
Not really. I think you handled this really well. Yeah, that was a farewell.
The farewell.
Wonderful. Well, we hope you enjoyed this bonus episode.
So 3 bonus.
3 bonus.
We'll keep them coming, man. Yeah. We're gonna
rules on the bonus.
The fall is coming. We promise you. Movies. Yeah. We're about to have a big episode coming up to you. And then It comes out this weekend. Let's go. Like, oh, man.
Actually, the way we might release this, it might already be out.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah. You're either hearing it now or hearing it after.
Well, we're going to release one right after anyway, so you'll know.
But, thanks for listening.
Hell yeah.
And we will see you next Wednesday.
Peace.